you underneath the package. I recognize you, Lynn.
I thought it was fine.
No.
Call this meeting to order. Everybody please stand. We have all lost a good friend. And he's going to be missed by every one of us. And I wish all of us to remember Ray Baker in our thoughts and our minds. We have a little silent right now by your head. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to have the approval of the March 27th regular council meeting.
I move, we approve it.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Yes. I'd like to have approval of the adoption of the agenda for today.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well, the mayor's remarks. We've had a lot of little things happening around, but everything has been going in our favor. The council is busy, and I'm sure that they have their remarks, but as far as the mayor's part, with the city clerk, city mayor, city manager, help, they're trying to educate me, and they're having a little hard time, but they're making it. So I'll have council remarks. We'll start with you, Paul.
Thanks, everybody, for coming out, and hope you have a good day.
And I want to thank the staff too. They're a great source of reliability when I need something and want to sound off or whatever. And thank all of you here.
I want to welcome everybody and thank you all for coming. And I'll say a lot of remarks for 10 and 11.
Good morning. Thank you for coming out in the fog. Thank goodness the wind has subsided a little bit today. Good to see David back in the back and our chief. And I look forward to a good week. And that's a lot to have.
I just thank everybody for coming out this morning. Follow up to a pretty crummy day yesterday, and that I'm going to reiterate what I had stated early on when I was running. Transparency, listen, and consensus. Thank you.
Linda?
Thank you all for coming, and just wanted to remind you, we do have Wildfire Community Preparedness Day on Saturday, May 5th. So what they recommend is you rake all the debris away from your home and at least 60 feet away from your home. That will help with any kind of wildfire and protecting your home. And then you will have to bag that, but we'll come by that next Monday and pick up any kind of bags that you have, that kind of debris. And I think you all are, at least the ones that are here, are aware we're still doing the work sessions a week before our council meetings, unless we know otherwise and don't need one, but we are doing those and they seem to be very successful and we've had a lot of community input and attendance. So just be aware that we are doing those the week before the council meetings. Everything else has gone out by email, so unless anyone has a question.
Where do you meet for those?
In here.
The progress report, we have anything, Chief, anything to report on your radar sign?
We've got the sign, it's received, we've actually got it in the shop. We're waiting on DOT to approve which sign we can use. And I've already told them, if you guys have noticed when you're coming up from Dillard, when you enter our city limits, there's no speed limit signs until you get all the way to City Hall. But between our city limit sign and we're right before City Hall, right, so you see the 35, that's actually a 25 zone and there's no signs. And so I've requested a sign and they'll get to it. So that's where we're at. So, but if we choose to put it in a that's our target location that we all wanted originally, was that stretch of road. If we want it on one of our city roads, town roads, or something like that, county roads, we don't need to worry with DOT. But for that state highway, we're at their mercy at this time. But we've got it, we're ready. We're just waiting on them to either give us a sign or tell us they're not going to give us a sign, and then which time we'll have to put it on the 35. But either way, that's kind of where we're at with that.
Should we consider sticking it on Sky Valley Way in the meantime?
If we have a sign that it will go to, it has an adapter, we would probably have to put a different post on the Sky Valley Way signs, which we can do if that's what we decide.
I thought the adapter just bolted on. In other
It
words,
does
it's
to those
portable.
big metal signs.
I got you.
Yeah, and we got wooden signs
Okay.
in some of our spots. But yeah, we can do it.
Paul, you got anything to report on the fire department?
It was approved at the April board meeting, and the city should have it in its hands the first week of May, if not sooner.
SDS.
Yes. SDS. I will have, I'm compiling a lot of information that I will have to get out to y'all in the next few days, I hope, including videos and so forth, to kind of help everybody understand SDS. It's kind of complicated, and we've been working for months on this thing now. And basically, the last meeting we had, it boiled down to the fact that the county still does not want to outline the areas it is responsible for. And I think the total between what Clayton and us, we're looking at about a $250,000 offset to the county. So we're not talking about the county taking a huge financial hit. So I'm hoping that the attorneys will now just concentrate on getting this map drawn with that one. You got anything to add to that?
No, that's where the impasse is right now, that, no. Grady County just doesn't want to identify the areas.
Right, and that really boils down to what it's all about, is identifying their unincorporated areas that they service, and they really don't want to do that stuff. And we don't know why, but we're trying to be patient and work through that. Can I speak on the next one, Bob, or you want me to wait?
When's the next meeting?
The 18th, no,
May 2nd.
it's May, yes, May 2nd. Is
Okay.
that correct? Double check that. Yes,
That's
May the 2nd.
And that's the county hall, county,
It's at the
It's
county
supposed to be at
courthouse.
the courthouse, but now there was a murder trial this last time, so we had to go to the civic center. But we have the 2nd and the 23rd scheduled at this time for the next 2 meetings. It would be nice if we wouldn't have to go through all that, but if we have to have two meetings, those are the two. And I don't remember, maybe you remember why we ended up moving it forward another week to the 23rd.
Because, yeah, some people weren't available on the 16th. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's right. Because we've been doing it 2-week increments. SPLOST. Basically, the SPLOST is allocated, has a couple of ways to be allocated. It can be allocated by a mutual agreement between the county, or cities and the county and so forth. Or it can be allocated by population. Last time it was issued, it was allocated by intergovernmental agreement. Raven County was, Clayton was left out of it, so they lost $1.8 million. And let's see, Mountain City lost $569,000. Raven County ended up benefiting to the tune of $2.4 million, which in my opinion turned around and disincentivized Raven County to have to get the SDS agreement. Everybody else is losing money and losing grant opportunities because of no SDS agreement. Raven County had an extra $2.4 million in the bank. So, that's another issue there. So by Sky Valley, believe it or not, 276 people combined with Clayton actually will protect SPLOST, and everybody will get their fair share this next time out. So in other words, they won't block it. And Raven County has no say-so other than that. In other words, they'll have some say-so, but the point is they cannot leave any particular city out. And if you've noticed, because of Sky Valley making the commitment to work with Clayton, there's been a newspaper article where they've all been backing up about Clayton going to lose their SPLOST and all this, so they're backtracking pretty good on that one. So anyway, that's where we are on that.
Okay, thank you. Audit for the June work session. That's just for informational use. And the public works equipment being evaluated. Paul?
I don't have any updates since our work session.
Okay. Surplus, same thing. And the hotel motel tax, excuse me.
Where are you at?
It's
Don't
not-
we have
I don't see it
14
on the
municipal
agenda.
clerks?
It's,
We've proclamated.
we're actually waiting on
Oh, I
the
got a
attorney to
different,
come back.
That's what I asked you about.
For us to accomplish that.
different.
I don't have it.
That's the last one I got. It's not right. Linda?
We do have the right month, don't we?
Hey, pretty good.
Oh, there's, yeah, I did.
Under new business,
Mr. Mayor?
Like that.
yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
May I ask a question now, or should I
Certainly.
wait? Chip, I heard your comment about hotel motel tax options. Could you tell us what those options are?
That's actually what we're waiting on, the opinion from the attorney is the
Yeah.
best way to go about creating our own development authority.
Our attorney couldn't make it today, he's in court,
Okay.
defending somebody, so, no, so.
Okay, so there was no discussion at the workshop of the possible options, and then we gave it to the
Well-
attorney.
No, there was some discussion at the workshop about it. I mean, he was just going to.
He's gonna come back.
Yeah, we're asking for some more research.
Yeah,
Research to us doing something
And-
or still participating with Development Authority in
No.
Raven County that's doing a really good
Us.
job.
That's kind of my question. Now, what were your choices here? What is he researching? Us taking away that money and us going on our own?
We need
Or us
to,
continuing to participate?
in my opinion, we need to apply that money to Sky Valley.
we're just waiting for the attorney, so we're gonna have to put that into the next month's workshop.
Okay, thank you. I didn't,
Here.
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I think that money that we are sending them does a lot of good going to the county because they have a wide range of advertising that we wouldn't be able to afford in
You
like a
can't
$30,000
duplicate their buying
ad.
power.
You do pay for that in your county taxes.
We're already funding.
You're already funding it through your
Yeah.
county taxes.
But we're not paying Tika anything to go to her bills.
Are you nervous that they would stop advertising Sky Valley if we withdrew our funding?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
I don't think we're
I
real
don't think we
popular.
would at all, but-
in-
No, we're not. You know, but we're the only city in Raven County that gives them any money, and everybody else does very fine. Everybody else is advertised.
I think
And
we're
that
pretty-
does not eliminate us from doing some
let's-
joint
let's-
venture
let's
advertising.
move
We
along.
want to by choice, not by force.
Discuss it at work.
Let's move along to, well, that's further workshop next month. Let me bring all that out again. Municipal Clerk's Week proclamation. Municipal Clerk Week, May 6th to the 12th. Whereas the office of the municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of the local government, exists throughout the world. And whereas the office of the municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the office of the municipal clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas municipal clerks have pledged to be even mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and communities. Whereas municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the municipal clerk throughout participating in educational programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. Whereas it is most appreciative that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the municipal clerk. Now, therefore, I, Robert McNair, Mayor of the City of Sky Valley, do recognize the week of May 6th through May 12th, 2018 as Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend appreciations to our municipal clerk, Ella Bass, and Deputy Clerk, Elisa Mullins, and to all municipal clerks for their vital service they perform and their extreme dedication to the communities they represent. Ethics. What do we got here? Whereas the Board of Directors of the Georgia Municipal Association has established a certified city of ethics programs, and whereas the City of Sky Valley wishes to be certified as a certified city of ethics under the GMA program, and whereas part of this certification process requires the mayor and council to subscribe to the ethic principles approved by the GMA board. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the governing authority of the City of Sky Valley, Georgia, that as a group and as an individual, the governing authority subscribes to the following ethics principles and pledges to conduct an affair accordingly. Serve others, not ourselves. Use resources with efficiency and economy. Treat all people fairly. Use the power of our position for the well-being of our constituents. Create an improvement of honesty, openness, and integrity. signed by the council.
Need a motion.
I move to accept it.
I'll second.
The move to accept
I have a quick question.
yes.
I have no problem with this, but how does this go along with the one we did last month? We just did that ethics program, and what,
That
are
was
these
the
hand in
or-
hand or something?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
So we sent in the ordinance and then they said we need to do a new resolution to go with it. So we had to update that.
So this kind of etches in stone with the one we chose the paragraphs from. Okay. Thank you, that's all I'm just curious about.
Pavilion.
We need to
Do we
have
have-
a vote there.
We have a vote on that?
Oh, I'm sorry. We had moved and second.
Yes.
Do I have a vote to accept that resolution?
Yay.
All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Voted.
Motion.
Pavilion. Linda, here are the rules on this one.
We went over the rules and policies at our workshop. Do you want me to read through them?
Uh,
Some people weren't at the
Okay.
workshop.
I'll be glad to. So if you want to reserve the pavilion for private use, this is not, you just want to go down and whoever's there is there and it's first come, first served. But if you need to reserve the pavilion for private use, this is what you would do. You'd come to City Hall and you'd fill out this one-page application. The rules and policies are as follows. All reservations are based on availability. The City of Sky Valley reserves the right to refuse requests for reservations of any facility. Picnic pavilion may be reserved Monday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. A reservation assures you exclusive use of the pavilion during your reserved time frame. Due to circumstances beyond our control, we do not guarantee the condition in the pavilion upon arrival or parking availability. Therefore, please plan to arrive early to ensure that the pavilion is ready for your use. For events with more than 50 guests for a period of more than 2 hours, the pavilion user shall provide one portable toilet per each 50 guests expected. No vehicles are authorized to park in front of the pavilion or drive on the pavilion concrete areas. Parking is limited and carpools are recommended. If you are contracting with a caterer or an event company, a copy of current liability insurance listing City of Sky Valley as an additional insured and as a certificate holder is required. The user is responsible for all cleanup, including removal of all trash, decorations, and other items brought into the park. A special event alcohol permit is required for events with alcohol and must be included with the reservation agreement. And no admission can be charged for an event held at this facility except city-sponsored events. And then there's a section that you'll fill out, and then there's a liability waiver and release. And the security deposit is $50 for Sky Valley residents and their guests, and $100 for non-residents.
Are those two toilets that out there are not functioning or
Yeah, that would be in addition.
in addition to those two toilets? Oh, didn't realize we needed so much.
All the questions about the
Those
toilet.
toilets are on the radar.
What about the use of the building, the toilet right next to the pavilion?
It'll be open too, but with that many guests, our septic wasn't built for that many guests. So
Okay.
it was built with
I
the
just
idea that we
wondered
would bring in additional.
If that was gonna be unlocked at the time.
Yeah,
yes.
it would.
Okay.
What is the limit on those restrooms? Is it 25 people a day or?
That's what it was based on. I think it was 25 a day.
Both of them? Or each?
They all
12
go
and
in
a
the
half
same
per
spot.
side.
Of course, that would be 25 every day. So I mean, the capacity is more than one day of it, but it's, you know,
Okay.
that's why we would require the additional. And if we had to, you know, we could lock those off if we thought it was gonna be an issue, you know.
All right.
All right, item 19, I think it's, we'll postpone that until next week
Going in there.
due to the
Well, y'all-
Mr. Mayor, Yes, sir.
Do we have to have a motion to accept this?
If y'all adopt the rules of policy.
Are we not, how are we gonna adopt them if we're gonna deal with this one paragraph?
Which paragraph?
Alcohol paragraph.
Oh, what's the question?
What are we?
Where's
what's
the
question?
other, I don't have, I only have this one. There was another one you had for people coming in with big parties.
For the alcohol,
Yeah.
we have a separate form for alcohol.
Then this,
Let's move that alcohol.
What, do you, is there a special event alcohol permit or packet? I don't see it in here.
No, that's something that already exists, but I do have a copy if you want to look at it.
Oh, okay. Where is it? I can get it real quick.
I have a concern about us
Did-
being involved
did-
in authorizing that by accepting some liability. I don't wanna stop it, I want people to do it, to be able to enjoy it. But if we, my concern, I wish we don't have the attorney here, my concern is if we sit here and authorize it, and something happens, is the city not a participant in that liability?
well, this just says, it's, this permit is here.
Are we talking about the alcohol, or are we talking about the liability waiver?
Right here. This,
Well, I thought Chip was talking about the liability.
Well, he does,
Talking about the alcohol.
like-
No, I'm talking about, here's the question that I brought up with Bob the other day, was if we even get involved in alcohol, period. Okay, I'm not saying not to have it, if you bring it, that's fine, we're not gonna say anything about it, but if we authorize it, or we are involved in letting you do that, and is the city at all getting itself in a position, if something happens out there, somebody gets hurt, and they turn around and go, well, y'all told us we could, you signed, you gave us the permit to do it. So I'm not rendering an opinion, I'm just asking the question, and I wanna make sure that we don't get ourselves in trouble.
My question for Linda, was this alcohol permit vetted before and approved by council?
Yeah, it's already in
It went
place.
through a lawyer's review, and we had his opinion on it and all that in the file?
I mean, I don't have a written opinion on it, but that's part of our whole alcohol licensing.
Yeah, well, I'm just asking a general question. So, we have our lawyer look at it again, according to Linda, it's already, that was done by a previous council, which I would have thought that would happen. We can do it again.
This one here, a
If there's a-
special event alcohol permit is required for events with alcohol must be included with the reservations agreement. But this whole thing is for people, just for anybody going down there and cooking and I have 2 or 3 people, they may have their beer and so forth, and I don't know, I think maybe that should be removed from this line, because with groups, then yes, we've got that covered, and if we remove this one line, then this, just like years past when we had the other pavilion, people would come in there and
Do their own thing.
they just do it.
Well, you wouldn't fill that application out if you were just down there doing your own thing. These are for group events.
Okay.
Debbie was in insurance, and
Right.
the chief asked.
I got a legal-
Yeah.
Legally speaking, and you look at the way the Georgia law is structured and everything, what the attorneys probably were considering whenever they did it the first time, is the wording should be probably turning on one fact alone is, are you allowing, like Mr. McNair said, if I bring my six-pack up here, compared to if I'm having a wedding reception and we have a bartender serving beer, that's going to be where the liability is going to shift. Because now you're allowing someone to come and serve as opposed to bring your own and just allowing the presence. State parks allow the presence, they don't allow serving for that exact reason. That's where the liability.
So on the serving, you would be dealing with a person that has to have the insurance and they are already listing as a certificate holder. So that's the part that covers the city.
That's what I was gonna say. Your city of Sky Valley insurance should automatically, you can be sued for anything, but it will automatically, should, and Linda can verify this, defend you if that were the case in this circumstance. You know, someone has too much alcohol, they leave and say, well, the city owns the property. You're probably gonna get sued anyway because the city owns the property, no matter what you do. But, you know, you've got good insurance from what I discussed with
When we would require them to have
Yes,
insurance
exactly.
and us be
So,
listed
it
as
really
an
shouldn't be a
insured
concern
and a
because
certificate holder.
of your good insurance. But, you know, you can have her verify that.
As long as we are covered, that's all I'm concerned about.
All right, I have a motion to accept this provision, rules.
So moved. Make a motion to accept the rules and policies relative to the pavilion.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Acceptance and a second. Have a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So done. And the 19, we'll have to, as I said, postpone that until next month, until our attorney's here.
He wanted us to vote. He wanted us to vote on it. If y'all are ready.
You know, we got it, we got a copy of it.
That's the one, Ellen, it's in front of you, loose.
My error.
You have a copy?
There you go. You got one?
Is that it? That's it?
That's it?
Okay.
Still okay?
Just wanted to make sure.
All right. You've all got a copy of this resolution?
Yes, I have.
This is the latest one.
Look at that. Right from the, it's naked.
All right, we have any discussion on this particular?
I think it'd be good if Linda read it for
Sure.
us.
This came up at our last workshop as well. We had talked about removing the mayor's right to vote and the mayor being a part of the legislative authority of Sky Valley. At the workshop, it was discussed to change it to allow the mayor to vote only in the case of a tie. So this resolution expresses that. It's a resolution expressing the city council's desire to change the city charter on quorum requirements, which members are part of the legislative authority, and the mayor's voting and veto powers. Whereas the charter of the city of Sky Valley provides that city council members vote to enact ordinances, resolutions, and motions. Whereas the city council has decided to amend section 2.10 of the charter of the city of Sky Valley to change the description of the mayor as being a part of the legislative authority and to change the authorization that allowed the mayor to vote. Whereas the city council has decided to change section 2.21 of the charter so that the number of members present to constitute a quorum for conducting meetings and other business of the city is now 3 council members. Whereas the city council has decided to change section 3.11 of the charter by adding that the mayor has the authority to vote on resolutions, ordinances, or motions only in the event of a tie vote by the city council. And whereas the city council also reaffirms the mayor's right to veto any resolution, ordinance, or motion approved by the city council as reflected in section 2.25 of the charter. Be it hereby resolved by the mayor and city council that, number one, the recitals listed above are material portions of this resolution. 2, the city council wishes to change section 2.10 of the city charter to reflect that the mayor is not part of the legislative authority of the city of Sky Valley. And 3, the city council wishes to change section 2.21 of the city charter to reflect that 3 council members are now required to establish a quorum of the city council. Number 4, the city council wishes to change section 3.11 of the city charter to reflect that the mayor has the authority to vote only in the event of a tie vote by the city council. And number 5, the city council wishes to affirm the mayor's right to veto legislation as reflected in section 2.25 of this charter. So resolve this.
That's not what's in my package.
That's the one that was emailed by the attorney when he changed the prior one. It's also, I updated it on the website too.
This is what we asked them to draft from our workshop.
Right.
So it's all, this is what we asked him to do.
Do I have a motion on this?
I move that we accept this resolution as just read to us.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
So moved and second. All those, any discussion on this? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Vote.
Motion.
Linda, on the statewide mutual aid, you have something on that?
This is an existing agreement that we have, a statewide mutual aid and assistance. It was adopted when Huel Goodgame was mayor and Mandy Cantrell was city clerk. And when I was pulling agreements, when we were looking at the SDS, we came across this and Paul asked if we could get it updated with the new names. So that's what you've got there.
Okay.
This is for GMA. This is like statewide.
You need a
Hazards.
motion to do that?
You're just changing the name to Bob,
Yeah.
is that what you're saying?
And Mandy to Ella.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I got you. So
Yeah.
the document remained the same?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we update the statewide mutual aid and assistance agreement as presented.
Seconded.
Moved and second, all those, any discussion? All those in favor? say aye.
Motion passed.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a executive session, and we'll be leaving, going in the other room. This, just so you all will know that the executive session, when we come back out, we cannot discuss it. So, and after we come back out, the only thing that we have is a public forum and general comments. So if you wish to stay for that, then fine, we'd love to have you. We'll be adjourning this session right now.
I'll make a motion that we close the regular session and move into an executive session
Or you guys say what the purpose is.
for the purpose of discussing personnel.
I second it.
All, moved and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Temporary.
Rhino back position? What's that? What did you put on? No, I'll keep draw You want me to come on?
Okay.
Well, do you mind if I take a nap while you do?
I could care less. I need a motion to go back
I make a motion, next executive session,
Make a motion to, resume.
I move the re-
Well, you have to do the public forum.
Yeah, he's gotta make a motion to
Come
resume.
back
Oh.
and
let's get back in session.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
All right. And now we, okay, public forum.
Well, no, you have to make a statement about there was no
The
vote
executive
taken.
session.
No vote, yeah, that's right.
Executive session, I believe. Am I
Yes,
correct?
that's right.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah,
That's correct.
Neil's correct.
and public forum, so fire away, honey.
As you all heard from my.
From his nemesis.
That no vote was taken at the executive session. And so we're back in session now, and we are open for any comments from the crowd. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure everyone's hungry.
Just adjourn.
Public wishes to adjourn, so we go.
All right. I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No.
Don't leave till you
You can
sign
say
it.
it. I suggest that we all help take these tables down.
Oh, yes, you need to do that.
What's that?
Help her take the tables down.
Oh,
It's not an easy thing.
Oh, see,
are they needing these tables tonight?
I intended to, but
I don't know how they